I have Archangel Raphael here with me today, and he's giving me this energy where many people in the collective, it's like backed up emotions. It's like a clogged toilet here. And he keeps giving me the analogy, the fated life versus the destined life. Right? So where many of us may be in programming and or limited beliefs that are creating this fated life where we only have this one way to go about certain situations, circumstances, things of that sort. And then the destined life is the life we set out for ourselves from the divine, our mission and our purpose here. And we are not able to reach that destined life until we break down the programming of the fated life. Okay, and with Archangel Raphael present with me, he's all about healing our heart. He's also the angel of repentance to bring us joy, to really truly release the things in our heart space that are holding us back from living our destined life. So if you resonate here where you feel like you have been going through the motions, maybe feel like you have some heart healing you need to do, you're not sure how to approach very big emotions here, okay? All of a sudden I'm getting like a stinging pain on the left side up here, okay? Which is connected to the right side. This is our analytical. It's kind of like, and it's funny because Archangel Raphael is also connected to the element of air. But the reason he's connected to the element of air is through breath work, because when we connect with our breath, it heals our physical body. And when we have a lot of pain and trauma and residual in the heart space here, it causes physical ailments. But there's a backup. There's a backup of emotions here collectively. All right, so my beautiful angels, spirit guides, ancestors, the highest light and decree, my beautiful higher self, also Archangel Raphael, thank you so much for your presence. What can we tell the beautiful, collective, my beautiful viewer here, in regards to this? Okay, it's basically when we allow, or when we're not allowing the flow of emotions and the healing of the heart space, this is where all of our suffering comes from here. All right, and he's really highlighting the heart space because when our emotions are backed up, again, we have this programming of this narrow frame of mind where this is the only way that we can make things happen. It's time to kind of like expand here. Commander Ashtar on the bottom of the deck, galactic guide, space travel, starseed, to expand your view from, this earthly realm. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. My name's Angela. I'm an intuitive healer, channel, and energy reader, as well as Angel-Healing Practitioner. So if you feel so called to follow along, please do. I'm here as an intuitive healer, Archangel Sandalphon, and he is directly related to our Earth Star chakra, answered prayers, music. A lot of this needs to be grounded out, is what I'm hearing. So again, as with Archangel Raphael showing up with breath work, right? Get into a meditative state. Begin learning how to ground your energy. Connecting with Mother Earth. Connecting with music. I'm also hearing that many of you guys are receiving repeated songs here. Pay attention to the music that is coming in your reality. There are subliminal messages for you to guide you, okay? To guide you. And he's the number 13 here on this card as well. That's the death card in tarot. This rebirth, this transformation, this metamorphosis. Okay, with Archangel Chamuel on the bottom. Unconditional love, heart healing. Okay, this message is to guide us down a path to show us how to heal our heart, understand the importance of healing our heart with self-love, with unconditional love. Archangel Jophiel showing up as well. Joy, radiance, illumination. Many of you guys are being guided and things are being illuminated for you. And maybe that's why there could be this, metaphorical, maybe even literal, backing up of emotions here. All right. I mean, purging. And Archangel Sandalphon can help you with that because he will ground you. He'll ground your energy, to really absorb the negative emotions, the things that are connected to us, 444 my timestamp, that don't serve, that are blocking us from getting in line with our destined life. All right, so my beautiful angels, Archangel Raphael, can we clarify this heart purging, please? The Empress coming out. Yeah, this is about mastering our emotions, mastering our feminine energy, connecting to feeling. Okay, this is about learning how to feel again, because many of us in society have really come to this place where we will disassociate from our emotions, the trauma and the pain. We unfortunately have a fear of facing it. Okay, and to be able to connect with our emotions is allowing ourselves to get into our feminine energy and master feelings of abundance, master feelings of nurturing ourselves. The world, like to really come full circle in our lives. Ooh, this is a lot. This message here is to align people with understanding that the feelings of apathy, discontentment, confusion, rejection, okay, that happened in the home. This is early childhood stuff. This is things that are resounding pain that we've been stuck in. Archangel Raphael is really highlighting getting into a meditative state here and allowing yourself to truly introspect and reflect on what happiness means to you. This is clearing the root chakra as well. Okay, so again, more grounding, bringing in feelings of safety, belonging, that you are enough, that all of your needs are always met. Because when we're dealing with rejection or abandonment wounds, that was my deepest wound. It took me years to break through that rejection wound. And many of us in society, what happens here is we project that rejection wound. So if we are holding on to a trauma or a pain, a belief, a limited belief of rejection that happened to us in childhood, in the home, in our environment when we grew up, what happens here is then we in turn will reject anything that quote unquote creates happiness for us, right? So if we were rejected due to whatever our circumstances were growing up, we now have this limited belief and this perception that we have to reject ourselves, our happiness, in that fear of rejection from others, right? So if you can go back to a space and time in your life where somebody or some circumstance really made you feel that you were not good enough, this is being highlighted in this energy because this is where many of our emotions are stuck at this time, in the feelings of rejection. So then in turn, we are then rejecting ourselves from choosing things that make us happy, that make us feel abundant, that make us feel, secure and healthy. We're turning a blind eye because we do not want to be rejected, but all we are actually doing is then rejecting ourselves, rejecting our own happiness. That is where many of these emotions are basically backed up at this time. Understanding the rejection wound, being able to reflect it and learn what projection means, because projection is a feeling that you have on inside and then you are placing it out in the world. The universe is a gigantic mirror, right? So whatever you are feeling on the inside, right, this faded life is projected back to you. So if you have feelings of rejection that you are constantly sitting in, you are going to continue to attract things that quote unquote reject you, and or you are going to reject things that are being brought into your life because you have this programming that you need to reject anything because it may be too good to be true. You're afraid to be happy because then you may be rejected again due to something that happened in your life, that trauma. Okay, this is getting a little deep, possibly a little specific here. I know this message is a little long, but I'm guided to go into a part 2. It's as if Archangel Raphael really wants me to highlight the rejection and abandonment wound. And it's funny because months ago I had channeled with Persephone. She was one of the first goddess deities that had approached me as I was working through my abandonment wound, right? And she had told me that rejection and abandonment is a global thing, right? This is a worldwide thing. This is an entire realm of existence, this 3D earthly realm. Everyone in some sort of way has a rejection and abandonment wound. And they really want me to highlight how this is playing out in our lives, because that is why there's this backup of emotions. This is why we are living the fated life, not the destined life. We feel entrapped in feelings of rejection. We do not know how to move forward. Now, this may be possibly extremely triggering for people, but as an intuitive healer, I am a guide here helping people understand a majority of these wounds, where they come from, and how to work out of them, get out of them. Introspection is going to be a major culprit for you to understand and really go back into, a majority of these wounds come from childhood. And what happens is we are just walking around with broken, hurt, traumatized, sad, grief-stricken, burdened inner child, right? Our little baby mini us. What had happened in our very early years is now playing out, creating this fated life. We are not stuck. We are never imprisoned. We just have to take the initiative to want to look and understand that when you look, that's where your power is. That's how you free yourself. There's freedom in feeling. I think that's what I'm going to name this. There's freedom in feeling. Your truth sets you free. And especially if you're dealing with a blocked heart, there's backed up emotions, you're not sure how to purge it, okay? And the most important thing you're always going to want to remember, especially if you want to be, looking and healing and ascending here, you have to mirror everything back to you. And it's funny, my choice of colors today is green. This is directly related to the heart chakra. Is directly related to healing, bringing in abundance, bringing in prosperity. I'm going to be a fairy. So let's get a closing message here for my beautiful viewer. We're talking about a rejection wound here, and we really want to guide them to, they're showing me a card from here, and it's called Take Conscious Steps, right? Conscious Steps, 111 on my clock. So really allow yourself to transition to, when we are in a rejection wound, the best way to explain it, and I believe I did the best I could within that last part here, is understanding how things are reflected to you. So in my personal experience here, like they're guiding me to say this, right? So for the longest time, I had a rejection wound and an abandonment wound from early childhood with my father, right? And so in turn, what I had done was I took on this wound for myself, and then I projected it out into the world, and I would come into situations, people's circumstances that would then in turn reject me, because I was holding on to the pain of rejection and then subconsciously rejecting myself, right? So if you are dealing with this rejection wound, you feel like you constantly have this fear of rejection or you are constantly rejected in your current reality, okay? Number one thing you want to do is ask yourself, where are you rejecting yourself, right? You have to look at the wound of where it stems from, the root cause of it, right? That's why Archangel Sandalphon is here, grounding us into breath work, into a meditative state. What's the root cause, right? And then also, again, where am I rejecting myself? Where am I not being my true self? Where am I not allowing myself to experience my own happiness the way that I want to experience my destined life? Not this fated life where, oh my gosh, there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to live a life of rejection. No, of course not. You just have to be willing to feel. Divine presence. God is here. The divine is here, guiding us through this. Always. 444 on my timestamp and 44 on this card. The forces of love and creation. Archangel Rajuel, justice, harmony, solutions. This is your solution here. To really be proactive here, beautiful souls. To allow yourself to feel things. And I know sometimes what happens in society, more or less, is that many people fear feeling their pain. And although it hurts to look at it, yeah, there is a purging, there is a crying, there is a sitting with that energy. But once you look at it and you feel it, then you heal it, and then it's gone, and then you can let go. And then you don't have that pain anymore. And then you're opening yourself up energetically, mentally, emotionally for new to come in. Whatever you're feeling on the inside is what you're going to experience. As within, so without. As above, so below. Okay, mindfulness, like it's really about really getting into some breath work, really coming into the present moment here, beautiful souls, 5 on my timestamp, to create this move, to create this change in your energy, to understand that the fated life versus the destined life. And if you want to get aligned with the destined life, you have to be able to take the initiative on the fated one, right? Past life guides, it's karmic lessons, it's present assistance. Okay, so kind of feel like, everything's being backed up here, like this presently, this download here, whoever comes across this message, whoever resonates with it, this is information for you to take with you. It is present assistance for you to see the lesson within the rejection wound here. Okay, for many of us, it's a karmic lesson as well, right? Where we carry over and we hold on to the negativity, right? And so then we in turn have to, within the human experience, feel that karma. We have to play out that karma. And when you learn the lesson within that karmic situation, that karmic cycle that you're in, you're free. It doesn't hurt anymore. It doesn't follow you around. It aligns you to your destined life, because then you learn your lesson within that wound, and it gets you more clarity and direction onto the path you're meant to be on, right? So I think this was a beautiful message. If this resonated, be sure to comment. Let me know, okay? Wisdom of the Magi. This is for mental clarity for you here, beautiful souls, okay? Your eternal spirit, where your higher self is coming through, your sacred self wants to connect with you. And when we are convoluted and we are darkened and we are burdened and heavy with energetic weight that does not serve, that is connected to karmic cycles, that is not allowing us to feel, we're afraid to feel, to heal, that's where we're going to stay on this fated life path versus, progress onto the destined. So if you feel so called to work with Archangel Sanaphon, Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Raphael, they are all here to guide us. Also Archangel Jophiel, to bring us that joy, that illumination, that grounding, that healing, connecting us back to our body, feeling safe, and understanding that feeling is freedom. Healing is freedom. Your truth will set you free. The programming, the limited beliefs, when you look at it and you ruffle its little feathers and you break it all apart, then you're becoming that magi. You're receiving the clarity that you need. And that is the point of this message here, because it's time to release the blockage here, beautiful souls. Let go and watch your life transform.